And we're gonna go about an hour and a half. So we wanna make sure we get it all in. If you have questions, you can go ahead and stop us, just for disclaimer purposes. This is being recorded for web streaming purposes, so that the people who couldn't join us can actually join us live via the web. So the session is elementary iPad workflow. It was originally K2, 3, 5. We're combining it. We've differentiated it through the course, and when it comes time to do those things, we'll be walking around and we'll be able to help you if you're 3, 5 or K2.
Also, if you want access to the presentation, I post it in the professional development community on Google+. So if you guys want to hop in and get that, I can also help you access it if you can't access the professional development community too. So just so that you know, because you'll need that in a little bit.
So if you don't know me, I'm Mona. That's Jordan. These are our Twitter handles in case you want to tweet about how awesome this session is. Okay, so iPads. Why? We thought we'd start out with just a little bit about why would we like to go iPads as opposed to MacBooks. We know that has, change can be difficult for some people, but we really feel like this is a good direction to be going in for the future. So very much hands-on lessons, right? This is a very much more portable device than the laptop, especially for things like QR codes. Our PE teachers use these a lot in class because they are very portable, or you prefer to use these, right? Okay, SAMR model creation, it very much integrates with the whole modification, redefinition. Again, on-the-go learning, they can be taking them on field trips, hallways, anywhere they want, a very portable device. I think one of the reasons we like them is because kids tend to stay in the apps, but there is a web portal too that you can add or take away at your discretion, which is nice on the iPad. You know, when kids are on the MacBook, sometimes they get lost on the web, right? You give them an assignment and you tell them, and then you're walking around and come back and this kid is now playing addicting games and not doing what they're supposed to do. Because one of the reasons is because they got frustrated maybe, but that tends to happen less on the iPad because, especially in the younger grades, they're in the app and that's all. They think, oh, I can only go in the apps, and we have the apps that are all educationally sound. So even if they kind of lose their way, they're still in an educationally sound app. And then the integration of social media, and not just Facebook, but all these things are just really easy on. This is just a bigger phone, right? And you don't hold it up like this. But I have mine all integrated. So this, on my iPad, it actually rings when my phone rings. So, management, the management side, the tech department, I believe finds it easier as well. We use Casper, Jamf Casper Suite to manage them. I know that's a little bit extra and above what you need to know, but Casper actually has a product called Focus that they use for park testing, which locks all the iPads into the single app mode, and that will be being used more and more as we move forward. Again, that's what this talks about. Google Drive is very compatible and integratable on the iPads, and they like this last week, they came up with another update where you can now put pictures in the Google Slides and the Google Form, and so they continue to update the Google Drive, Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Docs apps. And you should know that about Google. You need all 4 of those apps to kind of integrate into your iPad. So it's not just one app anymore. It's not just Drive. Drive is like a viewer app, and the other 3 actually are what you would build in. And then if you are so inclined, you can create folders for better organization. I work with a classroom that's very much like, I spend so much time making folders and the kids change them. Again, this is a personal device. Some kids' brains work that way and some kids' brains don't. So I encourage you not to force your management system of apps onto the children. If they like to go like this and look through 5 screens of apps, I know it's a little frustrating sometimes, but they know what they're looking for after you've used them once or twice. If they want to slide down and search, let them do that. If they want to make folders, let them do that. Let them manage their iPad the way they want to manage their iPad. Use that.
But at the same time, I mean, you can give them suggested ways to do it.
Well,
but...
sure. Okay, Cart 101. Just basically, again, management. How does it work? This is how it works in District 100. You may have friends that work in other districts that work. They may be doing different things. This is how we do it. We are trying to work with Apple.
I don't have a screen.
We've been trying to work with Apple to do their latest and greatest update on cart logistics, but it's just not working. So we're going to stick with the model we have in place. A cart is a group of iPads. It could be 2, it could be 30 that have the same email address in the accounts. We encourage you to use your BSD email address. If you would like to create an iTunes account, that is okay.
For your teacher iPad.
For your teacher iPad. We discourage you from using Gmail, AT&T, SBC, Yahoo, whatever. Please do not, and spread the word, do not use personal email addresses to create accounts and download apps.
And trust me, I'm the one that made the mistake of doing this, and I used my iTunes account, my personal one, and then all my email addresses were like merged with my BSD email addresses, and my calendar got stuck, and it was just like a logistical nightmare. This is when I was a classroom teacher at the time, and it was just use your BSD one. Trust us on that.
So the naming from here on out, we used to name them IPE 04-01 and then through 28 or 30. Now the iPads are going to be IPE 01, 02, 03, so those would be all the ones for Pershing from here on out. And actually I think they're like 101 because we've used like 1 to 90 already. So we're going to just start with, and then Piper would be IPI 101, 102, 103, 104. So when you get your group of iPads and on the back they have the numbering, you may want to write that down somewhere so that you know, especially before the covers go on there. In there, talk to your building principal if you want to put an additional sticker on the back
of the
cover. That's up to you and your building principal. I'm not saying whether that's appropriate or not. You need to ask. App purchasing. At this time, app purchasing goes through me. There is a form. It's called Volume Purchase Pricing Program through Apple. 98% of the app developers out there give discounts to schools. One that does not is Smart. For instance, the Smart Notebook app is $6.99 whether I buy 1 or whether I buy 100. But something like the Letter Sound app or some of these word apps, tracing apps are 99 cents. If I buy 20 of them, they're 49 cents. So I prefer, and on the form it asks you how many do you need. I need to know if you need 1, 5, 10, 30. I need to know that because I don't want to be out of compliance if we ever get audited that I'm buying 1 and propagating it out. I'm going to give you 1 code to put in the iPads, and then I save that spreadsheet for audit purposes. So when I tell you, you're not going to do it 30 times on 30 different iPads. I'm going to give you 1 code, and then what happens is that comes down from the cloud. And the way Apple has changed management, they only are allowing 10 iPads on 1 account, so you may have to force that down from the cloud, and I can go over that more in depth with you if you have a problem with that. But even if it looks like it's costing money, just go ahead and click on it, and then it will turn into a cloud, and then it will bring it down, but you should be okay with that.
And none of your iPads will have a credit card connected with them.
Yes.
So like you won't accidentally be buying anything. So if you push buy and we've already bought it, it will automatically go to yours. If you push buy and we haven't bought it, you just won't be able to buy it.
And then you can always email me with questions. There is no, and the other thing you need to really be aware of is that if you're buying an app with in-app purchases, VPP does not allow for in-app purchases, and we do not have credit cards tied to these accounts. So what your best bet is to do is to ask the developer to please email them. They love feedback. Email them and say, you know, I'm a teacher, I want to use this app. I'm not allowed to do in-app purchases. Can you make an EDU version of this app? And I've gotten emails back saying that's in the works. Thank you for your input. Even one that said that's not going to happen. Like basically that's not going to happen. But at least you know. But I cannot do in-app purchases, and neither can your building principals. The logistics of it are a nightmare. So just pretend like it doesn't exist.
And another thing too is, you know, we're going over like a little bit of the whole iPad beginning stages of it, right? So that you guys kind of understand before we jump in to like the whole workflow and Schoology part. And with the email piece, like on the iPad, you know, it makes so much sense in like almost every app you're in to just go push a button to go email it out, right? Like it's a lot of times you guys do that on your phone, you're like in a website, you just want to email it really quickly to somebody or message it. Well, we're not connecting email addresses, we're not connecting a phone number with them so that the kids can't message and email. So that's kind of why we're here, is to give you that overview of an alternative rather than trying to use an email address. That's why we have our LMS, our Schoology. And so that's how we're going to jump in and kind of give you guys that overview, if that helps.
That thing's flashing red. Is something that's going?
It's recording.
Okay.
So, if you haven't got on the presentation, please hop on it now. I want you guys, maybe like as partners or a table, please read what is effective iPad integration, and then there's a few links that are connected within that article, and then hop on the Padlet and give like one takeaway that you feel like you can use in your classroom. There's 2 seats here, girls. Come up here.
How much time are we giving them?
We'll give you guys like, I don't know, 10 minutes.
10?
Or 8 maybe. Yeah, there's one right here.
Well, let's,
You need permission?
Yeah, it's okay.
8 minutes
For what?
For this challenge. So if you go in the Google Plus and the PD community. Okay. So you're gonna go to Google Drive.
When I can tweet, let's tweet it. Put it on Twitter, be easier for us.
So you're gonna go, you're gonna go in your Google Drive. You're gonna go to plus your name. Go in Google Drive and go to plus your name in the upper right, and then over here, communities.
Yeah, I'll post it in the toolbox right now because everyone's in that.
And then
And then I'll post it in the toolbox right now.
you can go to the toolbox or the professional development community.
So, I saw the fridge, but was the toolbox going to be next to it?
Well, if you haven't joined it yet, so the toolbox is, you won't, it's a private community, I'll have to invite you.
Mona, I need it too.
Okay. You can search it.
Where did you go? I'm right here, Swivl, don't worry.
It's the first thing I just put. So it should just be a very
Elementary iPad workflow? Yeah. Or just this one not attached.
What else were you talking about? Just, I got an email in the
They still search for IT. And grow my
It's in discussions.
We need to request access.
Hang on, I'm getting there.
If you go out and request well, that's tweaked.
I want to take notes on that.
So I clicked on that. Request access.
Shauna, can you turn it now? Yeah, I just reposted and published.
The request has been sent. I do have to go to our emails to get it.
Live.
I mean, I'll just change
It's the
permission.
same thing.
I don't know how to fix that.
That's the wrong thing, because then I went from here to here, and then this I requested, but this.
Four. That's okay. Yeah, gotcha.
See, it told us we had to request. Well,
God,
They make this.
Oh, just refresh, I just reposted it.
okay, cool.
Toolbox that gives you this presentation discussions.
Right here, the little stairs. You want to go?
Does anyone else need access to the toolbox?
Oh, I did. So all
I sent you an email.
on your computer, right?
Here on the browser. Refresh your page and go to the bell and your
My team was on it, it's actually a lot better. It says an app, doesn't have all the functionality of it.
Oh, see? I did.
Give all the on Excel, like very, slide.
It's not here. Let me go down.
It makes it more functional. So now they have their app.
It looks like you're in.
More like,
You're in here. This one is, oh yeah, so you're in, you're in. You're good. Where are we supposed to be?
That's the guy, they're right here.
So slide.
Do something.
And then read that and share with your table.
There we go. You mean this?
Click on this, what is effective integration? Read that and then. So and then on the Padlet, the other link, you can just, if you want to write a sentence or two about what you guys come up with as a team, as a takeaway from the article.
And just thinking about like how you're transitioning.
Can you do me a
there's two
huge
other,
favor, reach behind you and get
articles
that
that
water
are
bottle?
connected within there too.
Thank you, honey. I meant to take a picture of this and tweet that out to Kyle that you actually got a frame for his. I meant to take a picture of this last time I was in here and tweet it out to him so that he could see how much he like it.
For those K1 teachers, there's a great article that's linked in there that says what does kindergarten workflow look like in a classroom. And I think it's applicable to all grades, but.
We'll give you like 3 more minutes.
And then if you click on the Padlet underneath, it'll take you to a new link and you can just add a quick takeaway.
So a new tab should have opened up for the article, right? And then if you go back to our original presentation, underneath the article link, it said Padlet, and that's what this is. And it's where you write down one thing you learned from the article.
Which one did you get? See, I'm done with this. I'm sorry.
So you're done or you're not done? You're done, so then go here. And then go on here. Oh, right there, Padlet. See what it says Padlet? And now another new window should open. And then you can see. Good takeaways. It says, don't use skill and drill apps and don't use the iPad like a laptop. What?
I didn't hear what you said, I'm sorry.
I'm not talking to you.
All right.
And if you want to come back to the Padlet wall and add things as we go on too, feel free. Just a way for you guys to communicate.
About one more
Share
minute and
ideas.
we'll move on. 1 minute warning. Okay, and then you're gonna wear this. Okay. And you should probably stand here, and then I'll drive the computer. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that won't make her move. Right? We think it's a her, don't we?
I'm okay.
You stand there? Okay.
So as you guys are finishing up, we'll come back to this Padlet a little bit later. You guys can add any more takeaways that you have. Feel free, just kind of using it as a, like just little Post-its for all you guys. That way you can take away similar things. Some things that are sticking out to me is don't use skill and drill apps. Really think about the line and don't necessarily expect the iPad to be exactly like the laptop, right? So use it for more of a creation aspect. And really think about those two things as we're going through. Like I said, we're going to give you the opportunity to get in and like explore Schoology, but the really reason why we're showing you kind of all of these things is because of this idea of workflow, right? You're going to get on the iPad, you're going to start creating, and then you're going to want the kids to turn it in and start sharing it with each other. And so, you end up with the same basic problem that you do when you just have worksheets piling up, is that you have like no really great way for them to start transferring across the classroom and collaborating, just like you couldn't really with a worksheet, unless you are really diligent about making sure that you have a good workflow model. The same thing can be happening with the iPads, and Maggie could have like all of her kids be creating all these really wonderful things, but unless they're getting to that next step of sharing them out and archiving them and sharing them with their teachers in their class, they're kind of stuck between those iPads right there.
It ends up looking like a pile of papers, right? It's just nothing. We have said before, that's why we did the fridge, because we just don't want things to just die on their iPad. We want there to be this back and forth
consistency. And so coming to this idea of workflow, it's a sequence and it's a process of which a piece of work passes from initiation to completion. I know it seems so simple and kind of silly to even define that, but it's really important to think about as we're going through. So taking that definition and putting it into our terms of what we're doing, the teacher is going to go assign something. They want to share it with their kids. So now they have a piece of work and they want to share it with their kids. They want the kids to create it and then end up submitting it. You want to be able to grade it and give them real-time feedback. And then at the end, again, like we come back to, you want it to be archived. You want them to be able to go back and find it. You want to be able to go back and find it. And you want it to be able to be accessible to everybody.
And to go back to the archiving, they have not launched it yet, but Schoology will have a portfolio piece that should be done. It was supposed to be done by May 1st, but they're still working on it. So for the start of school, and then we will be looking at using Schoology as our portfolio piece moving forward. So archiving, that will be big.
And, just to kind of throw some Common Core in there, technology is embedded in all of these ELA standards, and that's just ELA, but really being able to integrate, evaluate that content that you're going to have, and the only way you can do that is if you're sharing it, you're archiving it, you're going through that workflow process. So, thinking about the workflow and then thinking about some of our transitions next year, we obviously know that we're getting Schoology, and it's going to be our new eChalk, if you will. So maybe some of you have been using eChalk, maybe some of you have not. The expectation will be that we're all using Schoology, at least in some form or the other, because it's going to be a really great teacher platform to connect with parents and other teachers across the district. And we'll show you some of those pieces. You'll learn more about it on Institute Day, and more at different workshops too. So this is just kind of just a very, very minor beginning to workflow that more workshops to come will start complementing and piecing things together a little bit more. And then we'll also have Power School next year, which will be the new STI.
And they will be integrated, and you'll learn, there's a lot to Schoology. You will learn, I know some of you are sitting there, want to know about this, want to know about this, want to know about this. Your questions will all get answered, you just have to be patient, one thing at a time. Apps. Okay, so these are some of the apps that we use on the iPad consistently. Notability and Explain Everything integrate well with Schoology. Class Dojo obviously is so the kids, you would have that on the iPad so you and the children can see what their behavior is like. Notability is, I would liken it, to pages, but it does more, but it's for annotating, note-taking.
Mona, can you drag like PDFs into Notability?
You can open PDFs, like if you put a PDF in Schoology, the kids can open it up in Notability, annotate on it, answer your questions, and then put it back into Schoology. And there's actually a video later on today that shows you how that all looks. And then Explain Everything is you create videos, recordings, same thing. You can put that in Schoology. The kids can open in Explain Everything, and then drop back to Schoology. So that the flow, again, the workflow goes back and forth.
So, and we just kind of wanted to give you guys an overview of some of the apps that we think are good starters. Another piece is going to be Reflector. Have you guys anyone used Reflector? Yep. Or even so, Apple TV if you have one of those in your classroom. So you're thinking about these kids are finishing projects, or you may be working with a group and you want them to display their iPad up here. I mean, just like I'm doing with my computer, right? Like it's movable, it's not plugged in at all because it's connected to the Apple TV. Same thing with your iPad. So if the kids if you have an Apple TV in your classroom, this is how you do it, and it's a really great way to make those devices a little bit more mobile. And then if you
Okay, you do not buy this through the VPP. This is it's like $11.99 or $12.99. Your building administrator has to buy this for you. I cannot buy it. So if you put it in the request form, you'll just get an email from me telling you I can't do that.
And
Is that the reflector or the,
Reflector. But if you have an Apple TV, you don't need a reflector.
is the school gonna buy Apple TVs?
It depends. If you have one in your classroom, like I know Maggie, you're getting one next year, right? Or maybe. Okay. So like if she keeps her smart board, then she has her smart board, and a reflector would be a great choice for her. If she has a TV in her room and an Apple TV instead, then she doesn't need reflector. And that's just up to your building.
That's me, I think. It's my
Am I
phone.
green?
No, yeah, it's probably my kids. I don't know.
So we have about an hour, I believe, and we really want to kind of get you guys into Schoology and get you playing. We're talking about this workflow, so assigning, sharing and doing, submitting, grading, archiving. Schoology is a great choice because it combines all those workflow models and really gives the iPad a little bit more flexibility when you're creating. So this is just an example of a teacher that after a year, this is what her teacher side looked like. So it kind of has like a Facebook effect with notifications. She has all of her assignments that she's posted for her students on the side.
Calendar events will come up here on the right.
This is what her grading side looks like. And again, this is just a small snapshot. This is what her grading side looks like. She pulled it up, and at the same time, she can also see her submissions, and this is all in the app. so you guys have a little taste. And then this is the student side. Mona, do you want me to show the video?
Sure.
This is the notability one, right?
Yeah, we're only about 3 minutes behind, so we're doing pretty good.
So Mona was talking about opening up Schoology, using Notability like Shauna asked, and then putting it back into Schoology. And so here's a good example of it.
Find your class. You can do that by going into this little 3-bar thing, courses, and then here's all your classes. Today I'm going to be getting a document from Mr. Bob's class. He has his files in the Files and Links folder, but some other teachers have other folders with their files. But today I will be using Mr. Bob's class Files and Links folder. I'm going to use this document, so I open it, and then in the upper right I will press this arrow thing and look for Notability. If I don't see it here, I can scroll through here until I see it, and then you would just click on it. This is taking the document to Notability, and then today we're going to create a new note, but we can also add this to another note, but I'm just going to choose this one, and you press OK.
So they call a note an assignment.
I'm just going to fill out a couple of these then. So it's in Notability right now. You don't need to write your name because the teacher can see who submitted it. And then on the upper left, you're going to press that little arrow thing again. And you're going to press Open In. Then you want to make sure it's on PDF and select Open Note In. Then we want to select Schoology, but if you don't see Schoology, again, you can just scroll through until you see it, and then select it. And we want to submit to assignment, and look for your class. You can submit it to a different class if you want, but I'm going to submit it to Mr. Bob, so I choose his class, and I look for the assignment. I click on it, upload, and then you're done.
So there's a lot of steps within that. However, that's just an example. So you don't have to use Notability. That's just how you can use Notability to be able to do that. You can also annotate in Schoology. Okay.
Yes.
So like you don't even have to use Notability if you don't want to. You can do it right in there. So that's why K1, maybe this doesn't make so much sense, but 4-5, maybe this makes a little bit more sense for you.
I think it's pretty intuitive though, and after a few times the kids have it. They get it. It's,
So without further ado, let's get you guys logged into your account.
So do we want to just talk about what
Sure.
what the rest of this looks like is that we're going to get you in there, get you logged in, and then the rest of the PD actually exists inside your Schoology account. And you're going to be working with the people at your table to complete certain challenges, and Jordan and I are going to be walking around to help you. And again, within Schoology, the assignments that we're giving you can be differentiated by your grade level. Some of it, the beginning part, is done on the iPad, and some of the further challenges, I think, what did we put in, 5?
Yeah.
5 challenges. The bottom 2 are best done on the laptop. But so we gave you 5 challenges to kind of do, and we'll be walking around.
So you all should have accounts if you've already registered. If not, we'll get you set up. So just go to bsdu100.schoology.com, and this will be for
Okay, and like at IXL, if you go to regular just Schoology.com, it's going to ask you for, or it's going to have you search for your school. And it's actually not school. You would search for Berwyn South for the district. But if you go to bsd.schoology, then you get right in.
BSD100.
Right.
And then if you registered for the workshop, your username would be Jake Garrett is what mine is, and then everyone's password is capital S Schoology1. If you didn't register,
I would
that's
like you
okay,
to
we can
start
make you
on the
one, but I just
iPad.
didn't know.
Start on the other.
Start on the iPad.
No, start on, no, you have to start on your computer.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, you have to start on your computer to get your account activated. This is only for you, and then you can go to the app.
So she was saying you registered for this?
Do it on your
Did you
computer.
register for
Or
this
the web browser on your
particular
iPad.
PD? Yes, online. Okay.
Now, I use this password.
Oh, but she said no. Oh, so still use Jay Garrett.
Schoology.
No, is it your first?
Oh, I'm Victoria.
Oh, V.
Yeah.
Sorry. Jill and that.
Because, okay, the app is. Or no, you can sign in for
Sorry, unorganized.
Just your name.
You're using, yeah, first name, last initial, it's not your email. And then there's a part in there, like we have, don't panic, don't panic. Because I had to merge mine with my RV account. You don't have to, but did you use the same email address? Well, there you go, if you use your SBC, that's okay, it's better, because then you don't have to plug anything else. There's a place to do it, I'll show you, it's not hard. If you have, like I have children who use this as their LMS platform at their school, there is a way to link and merge your accounts. Or if you were on the free account, there's a way to merge the free basic with this new one. We're not gonna do this right this second. Hold those thoughts.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, so we need to make accounts.
Okay,
So,
for Kathy.
Kathy needs one, Doug needs one.
Okay. Doug, you need one?
So is it gonna charge on the other?
Doug, what's your home school? Piper or Irving? Irving?
Or maybe this is
No,
the one
you
I
got
created.
We created that one that original workshop.
No, that's close.
Then we need to. Yeah, if you wanna get started. Mona and, Beth needs one too.
Beth. Beth, what's your new last name again?
Nancy needs.
What? Oh, that's right. Who? Who else? No, I got you. Nobody knows their STI number, do they?
Yes, I do.
Who, yeah, but you don't need an account.
I know.
You would know.
I sure do. Capital A, or is
ST.
1361.
What number?
1361.
Okay.
I know what mine is too.
You do? ST what?
1309.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
Don't log in to do your first name.
Oh,
Yeah, no worries.
okay. I
Okay.
got mine.
Yeah,
I can't log out.
And then I'll make you one right now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Alright, Doris.
Never mind what you're reading.
You got it?
I got it, but I got it, from what I can do.
So we, yep,
I know, yeah.
So I need to make you a new one.
Doris.
Oh, you know what, yeah, sign out there. Cause I signed, so I.
All right, I gotta do it by
So
school.
when you're going to the bsd100.schoology.com, you're going to be in BSD100's Schoology that we're paying for. If you type in Jay Garrett, like if I typed in Jay Garrett at bsd100.org, even though I'm in the BSD1, I've already made an account with Jay Garrett at bsd100.org, so it's gonna open up my basic one that I'm not paying for. So the one that you're paying for, that's district one, is gonna be not at bsd100.org after your name, if that makes sense. So if it's not working like that, Mona's gonna make you an account right now.
Oh, I did BSD100.org and this is the one that came up.
Yeah, you're fine. But she was not.
Okay, maybe because I didn't have it. They created one that was J.
We're doing the free one.
I don't know, it's weird.
I'm gonna say sign up for the Jordan. Okay, Mona, is it okay?
Okay.
So. See, first word so.
That he says different. Thanks for doing all this, Mona.
No problem.
Are there extra
Do you have a BSD account? Do you care if I get started? Just let me
No,
know.
go.
Okay. All right, so if you are not in, I think that we have your names down. If you are in, you can keep following along, and Mona will get you all set up, so follow along with a partner if you're not logged in yet.
Kelly, what school are you at?
So I'm in the wrong thing.
No, you're fine, because you didn't have one before, so you're fine. As long as yours doesn't say basic at the top, you're fine. So this is how you know. Like Annie's said basic right here, because she created an old one that was free. So if it ever says basic, you're not in the school one that we're paying for, so you're not gonna get all the great features. So if that's happening and you think that you're in a basic, then we need to give Mona your name so she can make you one. Okay, so to get started on the workshop, I want you guys to be able to join my course so that you can get access to everything. If you join the course, can I just get like a thumbs up? Okay, so follow along with somebody that already has joined the course.
You can't yet. I haven't made you an account.
There are 5 assignments like Mona was saying. I put them into folders just so you could see. Again, like you can make it as friendly as you want. You can put pictures in here. You can put videos in here. So think about that K1 aspect, you know, K1, 2 and how helpful that would be. I just separate them like this, but I liked it like that. That was helpful for me. Start at whatever assignment or whatever one you want. We're going to do the assignment one together first, so that way you guys can see. If you have your iPad, I suggest now going into the app and logging in that way, so that way you can see that workflow model as the teacher. Okay.
Here, I think this is the one I wrote down.
Read it out loud. Read it out loud.
Capital
There's not.
I think you have to join it dash, 2 capital R.
Your phone? You do it all on your phone? Just download the Schoology app on your phone.
Oh, I don't need that.
That's optional. So if you just want to make it in notes, you can just make it in notes. It's up to you.
Oh, really?
Jordan.
I tried it too.
You're in finally, Katie. I got it.
Oh, okay.
It says you joined.
Yeah, this
This
is
is what I
happening
did
too.
today.
Oh, because you're
This is what
joining
I
a
did
group.
today, and I don't see it on this. I did. I don't see it on that. It's not on my iPad. Maybe I pulled it. It hasn't come in yet. Mine's still working on it. Yeah,
Okay, Shauna, you got in?
it should. And I.
So Doug, Doug and Beth, it says you're already there. But Stein, your last name is spelled Henager, right?
Correct.
All right, let me go back and double check. Maybe I spelled it right, but maybe there's the unique ID is your STI number, but they may have spelled your name wrong. So, Beth, it says you're in there already. So let me go back and check. But Kathy, you should be able to get in. Kathy, Cheyenne, and Kelly, you guys should be able to get in. I'm working on it. K Belmont, and then BELMONT, and then school, capital SCHOOLOGY, and the number 1.
In every folder, there's like a tutorial or a PDF or a video on how you can do it.
K, S, go SB, and then your password is Schoology1.
That way you have it and you kind of understand the kids. Go into the app. And then it takes you to.
Let me just refresh it. That way,
It's all how we want.
I don't know, hang on. Like the kid that I went to high school with spelled it. 2 L's, I think. I think so. Working on it.
okay, it's still saying unrecognizable.
Okay, Annie and Doris, you guys should be in. Okay, Nancy and Kathy, you guys are next. B. Zeller. Well, no, because I can't check yet. It says that an account already exists for that unique ID. So I need to go back in and look, but I want to create these other accounts while I'm on this screen.
Sure. So on my iPad, on the Schoology app, what time do you create? I don't know.
See, now this is popping up. Should I try that?
ACZYK, right, Nance?
Should I try it with my...
Yeah.
And you just popped in.
I can't get in over here now.
CHOOLOGY. Okay, I'm doing something. Sign into
Did you get it?
All right, just give me a minute.
Take your time. I'm just thinking I should maybe shut my computer down and start again. Sometimes that helps.
You're gonna get into a lot of my stuff.
Okay, Piper people, you should be good to go.
all apps.
Okay, which one did you pick? The email one or the username?
I did the username, but I'm not in, so maybe I'll come in.
Collins, I got an email that said you joined the class.
Right, I can't get in on my own.
Katie Collins. But still, your username should be Kate Collins. All right. Katie Collins, username Kate Collins.
Okay, wait, Mona, are we going in here on an email or
Username.
Okay, so when I do that, then I get.
You have to pick your school first. No, not Irving. Berwyn. Remember, I said it has to be Berwyn South.
Okay.
You have to search by district. Berwyn South.
Because Irving is in here. Okay, that's where I'm in there.
Berwyn South.
I think so.
Okay, password you use this?
No.
Log on this one.
Allow push notifications.
It's up to you. If you want those things to keep popping up on your screen all the time. Otherwise, I don't do it. I don't do it at all. But
If you don't do it, I'm not doing it.
Kelly, I'm working on yours right now.
And so that's how it's gonna work with a lot of the different apps. It's just like taking a screenshot, or I was just showing Shauna, I'll find another iPad, but I'll post on the board the other way that you can submit.
All right,
If you guys
Kelly, try now.
open anything in another app, and the Schoology app has to be on.
Cheyenne, you're still having trouble?
Wait, did you say it has to be open? Okay, you're trying to share it from another app, it just has to be open.
You have to have a Schoology app.
So I can't be going into the, I thought it was so hard. I do have Schoology app.
Okay, so what are you trying to submit right now?
No, I just.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, I want
Her-
to, there was some creative that when I.
I don't know. So you're gonna like kind of find that, some things accept and some things don't. Like paper cookies style, the degree, right?
She is not. Oh, I'm in Kamensky, that's why.
So Schoology doesn't.
Okay, Nancy, good, you're in.
And then open it up.
Okay, Stein.
So kind of like, let's say that you had an assignment. So let's say you had an assignment, it would connect them straight there.
It's saying you're not in here. Oh my God, Claire must be watching online because she just joined.
I have a class right now, and I was in the school.
Claire, are you out there? Alright, my knee is killing me. Alright.
And so like a lot of the programs before, like we had the I can't open another app when it's on there. It's like I can get it.
Okay, you should now try. You should get an email.
I should get another
Yeah.
email and look at my email for the password.
It should just send you. Doug, are you in yet?
I'll try it again.
All right, hang on, let me.
Play around with it like this because then you actually see how it's used in the kids side, you know?
No.
Okay. HENAGE. No.
R. HENAGER.
Oh yeah. See, that's a problem.
Okay. I got in. She had to do it twice, right?
Should we fix this or can I fix
Welcome
that?
to click next below to start the tour. Did you start the tour here or did you start it here?
All right. You should have gotten an email. Beth, did you ever get in?
I did, I just didn't.
It's the same thing, it's just like
Even though my email address is so gets me every time. Mine is the same way. Thank you.
It's because your paycheck is E, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Otherwise, going out from that.
Did you get an email? Anybody else not able to get in?
You can make your PSD.
No? Okay, hang on, Kia.
So that's why I suggest
Now, how come you don't have
PAOLI. PAOLI. I got the wrong person. That's why. That is why. I got the wrong Kathy, and I know that. I know that. Why does it say M? Who the hell is M Grimes?
late already. But thinking about this. Wait, what? Well, we're not gonna go right there. I don't know what the fight is.
All right, you should get an email.
So now she figured it out. Right. She's gonna be like, this is the email.
Okay, so now you want to go to courses.
Courses, okay, because that's what I did not want to push until you said.
And now you're going to enter.
You should probably tell something.
That's 6 right there. Yeah, that's 6RBBF.
I don't know why it doesn't go any bigger.
Not for the assignment.
Your assignment? No, I just finished it really late. I did mine on Tuesday.
Like I had an assignment, and then in your course you also have badges.
Shauna, good job.
For like-minded reason. So, like, the course is like, we'll do everything in the actual class. So that's where the kids are kind of be, that's where they make their assignments, that's where we'll have folders. You'll be able to do that.
Will this allow you to see like who's late, how many turned in, like, 20 out of 25 and so many are late? Okay.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely. Actually, the analytics on it are a lot better than a lot of the other ones. Google Classroom's great. It has a lot of great features, but this one's a little bit more robust, and that's ideally why we chose it. But again, like I was telling Shauna, I know there's so many questions about like how it all operates. On June 4th they'll get trained on all like the nitty-gritty classroom features.
You're going into Berwyn South, not your school. We have a district license, not building licenses.
Is this mine?
I pushed in that code
Or
and I
is
got
this
back
like a
to you again.
temporary?
This is yours.
This will be mine for next year.
Yep.
That's a great question.
No courses to say
I know you said that, but I was
courses.
like,
No, that's a great question. And again, like I was saying, June 4th, you'll get like a boot camp.
yes.
This is just more like, just to see how it operates, like the turning in feature and how all of that kind of, the word I'm looking for, like how it would work for all of us. Yeah.
Okay, so now go to Schoology app.
Supposed to create a course?
So go to your photos. You don't have any photos, okay, so how did you do your screenshot?
I know.
And then open, so it might not have taken it.
This for the
You
kids.
have to have course.
I think for kindergarten it's pretty hard. Learning a lot She knows you're trying. She's, well, you know what?
Do you see that? It says create.
This is your assignment. You don't have to go. There you go. How do you do that? How would you be blogging?
Mine says.
So they're automatically populating. I'm not the So that way you don't have to like go through all that.
Okay, so here's.
Okay, I'll just give you that.
Oh, I could do that. Using my video.
You were not logged in properly. I don't know why, but you weren't.
No, because this is the aura of what happens to my, any technology I go to try to use.
Now, one of the things that Jordan and I noticed when we were playing around is that there is real-time updating between the iPad and the MacBook. So if you do one thing on the Mac and then you refresh the app, or you do something on the app and then you refresh the page on the MacBook, there's a couple second lag. But I mean, I was pretty impressed at how much it really kept up with between the two devices being logged in. And I had a folder open on the desktop, on the laptop, and I couldn't do anything on the iPad because it knew I was already in that folder on the computer. So that was pretty cool.
This could be like how to create courses.
Okay, so I did my assignment, I hope that.
Well, something you could do as a kindergarten, and then just kind of work between your kindergarten. Here's a video of what you did.
So, I'm in your.
How to manage a course that's access code. How to create a course. in the web browser.
Okay, so that's just.
Well, we were saying one item, basic and then when you add in that have four, right? I did have basic. Yeah, and I did too, and my basic have taken. Oh, no, this is your stuff. I joined the professional development, did that already.
Yeah, and then you should go to share.
This is still, this course is still manageable. If I'm gonna do
The right column was assigned to share message. Share. We don't have a communication.
Oh, I think it's that's good.
Take it.
Yeah, thank you.
And then grade three. I don't know if you're gonna do real.
I didn't
So they're thinking you can even do oh, it's called what's replacing
That's kind of cool though.
which one are they going to look at? They have to do Schoology to the grades or Power School?
It's not just like here's 15 hours for second half of that. Is that right? I mean, I look at the original teachers also.
They could take on tests from Schoology. Let's say you were to grade something.
Yeah.
What's it called?
You were so it's best to put your proper grades in Power School because Schoology will just like send the test there anyway. You'll see, it'll make more sense.
The C?
Because we're already inside.
Schoology together, but.
So how do we get out of this?
That's what I just turned
So, and we'll have time
How's it going, ladies?
Okay, that's a question.
Okay.
What about
Just so everybody knows. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me.
what would be something, because like, if I'm doing actual movies, like the calendar, things like that, how would I be able to access and utilize that within the building?
So honestly, I mean, I would go through and kind of see some different pieces. Like, go look at the blogging challenge. Like, you could check out your blog and start the blog. June 4th is going to be like, this is just more the workflow side of like how the classroom is going to work in K-5. And so that way you can understand like how the kids are going to be using it. And then on June 4th, you'll get like the Schoology 101 training at Institute Day. So that way you'll get to know about like the calendar. You'll get to know like how you can better assist, help out.
Okay, when you say materials, like your materials have all those, I don't know why these are not.
It's because you're a student in my class and I'm a teacher in my class. So if I go to a class that I'm a student in, like because you didn't create my class, if I go up here.
Okay, but you can go up there, I cannot.
So yours, since you're on the iPad, is gonna be the 3 bars on the left-hand side. Oh, do you guys want your stuff?
Okay, the 3 bars right there. Right. Okay, look what mine do. Okay. See, but now watch what mine do. Okay, wait, go back again. Ah, keep going back. Okay, and so she said go under courses or groups?
Yes.
Under courses, all I have is join, I don't have create.
I'm just gonna tell you that.
Oh, okay.
So, thank you for bringing that up. Shauna found out for us. So, you cannot create a course because, we were just learning this, because Schoology is gonna directly sync with PowerSchool. So you know like how in eChalk, some of you may know, like you have to go in, you have to add your kids individually into your course. If you connect it with PowerSchool, it's going to automatically populate your classes. So since Mona and I aren't the admins, we're not the ones that made all those decisions. We're like learning this kind of with you guys, this side of it. And so you can't create a course because it automatically populated it, which is challenging for this particular day, but next year you'll log on and all your kids will automatically
And the
be
reason that we can is because we are, like, the reason we thought it was okay is because our portal, what we see as administrators of the entire Schoology platform, we can create courses. So that's why we didn't realize that.
But you guys can create groups.
Yeah, you can create
just
groups.
skip the course and go create a group.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the difference between a course and a group is a course would have assignments and work in it.
Yep,
Because, like,
and your grade book.
If we wanted to set stuff up over the summer, like getting things, videos edited, put in and set up.
So that's a good question. Keep that in mind. You can do that, but you won't do it in the course. So you will be able to do that. But you put it in, and they'll go over this because they'll give you like a more in-depth version. But it's in your resources. So that way, it's almost like imagine your resources to be kind of like your Google Drive. Like you just like dump it all in, and then when your course is there, you just add it to your course. If that is helpful, okay.
What's the difference between a course and a group?
So that's what Shauna and I were just talking about too. So a course is going to be like your assignment that you're giving to your kids. Like all your kids are going to be in it. It's going to have your grade book in it. So this is a course that we're in right now. And then if you guys want to go.
Jordan, get everybody's attention because what you're saying is really huge for everybody to hear.
So I'll tell you guys the difference between a course and a group. Your course is going to be what's automatically populated from PowerSchool. So that is going to be your kids, okay? So you guys are in my course right now, so you'll be able to see the difference between a course and a group. So in your course, you have your folders, your materials, whatever you're going to assign to your kids. Your assignments and your grade book are that like meat and potatoes of your course. And in a group, it's more like people coming together with like a like-minded idea. So like, I'm trying to think. Today, I could have made a whole group on iPad workflow. We could be communicating back and forth, and if Victoria finds something that she wants to post in there, she can post in the group. So almost imagine like a Facebook group.
Guided reading groups, maybe? Could you do it for that, like within your?
You could do guided reading groups, yeah. Because you wouldn't be able to do courses, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to.
Or like you can collaboratively share with your team, like your first grade team.
Exactly.
Post up in there and share things that they found.
Yep.
So then you can have a first grade reading folder, a first grade writing folder, right?
Yeah, so I would suggest go create a group right now instead of doing the course, and invite somebody that you're with and see what that difference is like. Start posting in these because you guys can delete these, later. So that way you can see what a group looks like and how it's differing than this course.
And just so you know, sort of on these same lines, so in eChalk you had a lot of leeway to do all this stuff. You will not in Schoology next year. Like these, for the middle school, all these classes will be created, the courses will be created for them. Same thing with the student usernames. All that's gonna dump from PowerSchool, so you're not gonna be adding
you don't have to add kids, and if you remember eChalk.
Other teachers and all that all has to be done on the management side, so you'll have a little less leeway in that aspect. And the reason that is because it's gonna sync with PowerSchool for grades, so it has to be uniform.
Jordan, show them up there where their notifications are, because I actually invited everybody to at least one group. So I invited people that are here to the professional development group, so you'll have a peek at the summer calendar. And, I invited people that are at Pershing to the Pershing group also.
And you guys can also see too, you know, I as a teacher, like you guys are my students right now essentially in my course, so you can see what it looks like on my side. So, you know, I see that Erin Flint, good job for turning in your homework. And I can go and I can click on it automatically, and I can see what she turned in for her assignment. And then this is kind of cool too, so I can see all the submissions over here.
So that's like the Google Classroom.
Yep. And then I can just open it up if I want.
Okay, now what did you just do?
I can, you know, great, I love the frog. Maggie got really intense and submitted the same thing 4 times.
No extra credit.
And then also, and you guys will learn this too. So I'm sorry we don't have enough time to go over everything, but if I added a rubric to it, the rubric pops up right here, and I grade alongside the yeah. That's why I love Schoology. And you grade the rubric right alongside it. So like, okay, let's say I graded Maggie's. And then I just go to the next one, it saves automatically, and now another rubric would pop up for Denise's. And I grade it side by side.
When Lindsay does all this and it's.
Good job, Denise.
Does it automatically go to the students?
And then they get feedback automatically.
Can you write on it and stuff?
Yep.
So, do you use a stylus?
Like I right here, I can, and they'll go over more of this, so I hate to like ruin it too. But like I can highlight it.
You do the corrections right on it?
Yeah, if it was a paper, like I can draw on it. Let's say I wanted to be like, Denise, that's not a triangle. I'm kidding. And then I just go save. And now Denise, if you go open up your assignment, you can see that I put good job on your triangle. I can also add a voice. Which is this is what I hate. I like feel bad that I'm ruining your training for later, but the voice is my favorite part. Because I could be like, you know, let's say I need my kindergartners to, you know, they really want to be able to see me, so I can just do.
I don't know where to look.
Denise, you did such a great job. Congratulations. Make sure you add your squares next time. I attach it. Push play.
Here it says show all.
And now Denise, you're getting these in your notifications, right?
Actually, I'm on my assignment now. I have to see what I did.
You probably just have to
So actually the one on the computer would show more than the
Because here, when I click on this little night, I know this
That'll be fun for you as a teacher. You can say, no, this is how it should be. Yeah. It's already been clients because they're doing it.
Wait, should I have requests from Marilyn? She's doing all this stuff?
So look up at that corner.
Do you guys want your stuff?
Yes. I do.
Do you want your stuff? I grabbed it. Okay. Did you fill out something? Yep. Okay.
And you see?
No, did you fill out something?
Oh, no. She registered, no, she's noticing my computer wouldn't do it.
I'll do it.
You see, now I've got your So, but this doesn't say, like, doesn't give you information, it just says right away. Right now, yeah, and then you can go, then it'll go on your calendar. Right, exactly.
If you're like feeling like, oh, I don't know what.
I mean, I just clicked on here, like, to
I just wish I could, I wish I could.
Okay, my, see, I was on.
Yeah, you know how you cover that like a weather, it goes out.
Now, when we come, so you're right, I have to say it tonight, tomorrow, I have to school, I'm gonna try to do this. Am I gonna just still go on?
It'll be in there, it should all be in there.
Is these things that are happening, when I do, when you go like this, or if when I go like this.
We didn't fix
In your deleted?
Yeah, and resubmitted.
Because one of the things
See all the ones that you
was when I was trying to do like with.
Because I don't get that. No, I get a lot
I go under my group and it asked me to put in the code, so I put in this code and it still said invalid login. That's what she did hers, so she went through it.
But you. Up at the top where it says
As soon as you guys fill it out.
Please continue to work on the challenges.